So my name is Lorren Cargill. I'm the co-founder and COO of CANVS. CANVS is a interactive street art platform. We're building the most comprehensive street art database globally that allows users to access street art, find street art, discover the artists, and eventually purchase art from the artists. I've been working in the art tech space for quite some time. I have a BFA in design. I also have a background in management consulting. And this has been a passion project that has grown into a business where we partner with cities to help them better manage and drive interactivity around their street art portfolio. The biggest challenge in trying to create this global database is, one, how are you collecting data? And from an engineering perspective, we needed to create a platform that allowed crowdsourcing, multiple users, and dealing with all the aspects that comes with that, logging, authorization, etc. So that was a challenge that we overcome this past year working with VAIRIX, and many more challenges ahead. But this MVP, if you will, allows us to go to market, test our product, get valuable feedback from our clients and partners, and then starts on a journey to fundraising. My co-founder, Ralph, the CEO, we're looking for development talent. Our CTO and our founding engineer and developer, we have a difference in opinion in product and product roadmap, and we had an amicable split. But we had a hole from an engineering perspective that we needed to fill. And as we started to enter these partnerships, we were looking for a dev shop or development team that could help us, work closely with us, embrace our culture, and enhance the product. We had the product side down from a design UX perspective, but we needed somebody who had design chops to rapidly deploy updates and features. And so that's how we stumbled upon VAIRIX. We've been working with VAIRIX for, in the recent capacity for, say, 6 consecutive months in a staff aug capacity, but before that, that's almost a year. I don't know, for almost a year. Initially, we started with a very small scope of just helping us deploy our mural map product. But we've been very lucky so far getting this really, really high-end and quality developers that helped us think more broadly about the product. And then from there, we expanded the scope. So we went from just deploying this one product to enhancing significantly the back-end infrastructure that supports the product and the mural map. We've been able to grow rapidly. So just for perspective, we were prior to working with VAIRIX, we were in about 15 or so cities. We're in 150 cities now, and that's largely because of how easy it is to upload content to the back end, how robust the back end is, and the functionality and user experience. Even just the number of mural assets and artist data has grown, 5 to 10x, just because we removed that barrier, the crowdsourcing barrier. Our engineering team involves a DevOps engineer, our technical advisor, our product lead, which is my co-founder Ralph, and then the VAIRIX team. We do everything on Slack, and also when it gets to dev work in Jira. And that's been seamless, right? We started out with Ronaldo, with Gabriel, and then most recently Enrique, with Juan serving as a project manager. We initially thought we were going to have language barrier issues in Slack, but that was non-existent. And so between Slack, Google Meets, and calls, it's been seamless, and we've just been able to integrate Juan, Enrique, Ronaldo, Gabriel into our Slack environment, and then interact with other developers in our ecosystem. So that's been really good. One of the biggest things that we're looking for that we found was developers who really partner with. So we could say we want to do these 5 things, and based on reviewing those 5 things, whether it's Ronaldo or Enrique would say, well, we could do those 5 things, but here's a better way to do it, and here's something else we could do that would just better achieve your goals. And I think that's what we wanted. We wanted, developers who are thought partners, who weren't just order takers, if you will, which you typically find with a dev shop. And I think the role, you and the biz dev team plays, access to Marcelo, that helped us a lot, especially from a trust perspective. Yeah, but lots of differences. I think one of the benefits of working with nearshore developers, particularly in Latin America, is the similarity in culture. So when you look at a dev shop in India, you look at the dev shop in Eastern Europe, there's a bigger cultural gap. So the way you communicate, examples, analogies are more foreign the farther away you go. But working with developers in the Americas, the baseline from an education perspective is very common. Besides language, the exposure to common apps, common development approaches, common techniques of solving certain problems is very similar. And so that helped a lot. So if I were to say, hey, we want to do something, we want to create this similar experience to this app, then your developers understand the reference, right? So that was a big difference. My own personal familiarity is high. My Spanish is maybe 65-70%, so I can understand, I can read business Spanish well. But I think the similarity in cultures, living in Mexico City, I realized wow, it's like New York City but bigger, but everything else is the same. The entrepreneur ecosystem is mature there. The development talent is mature there. There's a lot of back and forth between developers working on projects in North America or traveling back and forth. So that gave us a lot of comfort. One of the ways we see VAIRIX playing a role is just adding velocity, right? So we may have a technical advisor, a product lead, and even when we get our, we get our replace and fill the CTO position where we have our internal engineering lead, VAIRIX will give us speed when we need it, right? The development team there is familiar with the background, familiar with the problems they're trying to solve. So that velocity and being able to ramp up and ramp down is be very useful in the future. I would definitely recommend VAIRIX to someone who already has a product on the market and is looking to take the product to another level or accelerate, iterations, or essentially refine and tweak the product roadmap. VAIRIX, I think, is high quality, a thought partner to help you work through things and iterate the product. But I think you want to have the product there already. Not a prototype, if you will, on paper, but product in the market where it's giving you feedback that you can invest the money in. Then I think it's absolutely worth it.